Okay, now let us see this example here. We are still on toppling and sliding. So uniform cylinder of height 10 centimeters and radius 2 centimeters stands on a rough horizontal plane, coefficient of friction 0.5. So that if the plane is tilted slowly, the cylinder will topple before it slides. Toppling before it slides, it means that it will fall off before going down, as we saw in the previous lesson. Of course, if you have the cylinder that is symmetric about the vertical axis, so we can easily get our center of gravity here, which we said is always x bar, y bar. So our V here, x bar is given by r if it's in this order, then y is h over 2 because symmetric here. So from here to here is our r, which we have seen from the equation is 2. Then h over 2 is going to be 5. So this is our center of gravity, which is here. That is my D. My D. Okay, now this is what we mean. When this is now, I'm assuming this is my center, so this is the case. It's resting on that surface. So as we tilt it together, you see, as we tilt it together, so, I mean slowly, we expect it to slide, but it's not sliding. And eventually, as we tilt further, it's toppling off. Now, when this topples off, it means that now the force that is acting along the plane is less than the maximum frictional force. So, if we show that, or if we say that the frictional force on this plane is less than the maximum frictional force. So, if it slides, it means that it will have this way, this force here will be greater. But if it just topples before it slides, it means that now this is greater than that. Of course, the surface is rough, we expect friction in that order. Then I'm assuming this is my center of gravity for that cylinder, let me call it D. So if this is my D, you've seen is 2, 5. Of course, we are going to be having the weight acting there. So we don't know our weight, so if we call it MD, the mass, so this is going to be my weight there. So I'm assuming that this angle, that's the angle at which this one is being tilted. Then, of course, we shall be having reaction to that R. And then, if we continue in this order, resolving the weight, this is going to be theta. Of course, we know from here, this is going to be now W cos theta. And then we are going to be having our horizontal force, resolving the weight in that order. This is going to be W, then sine theta in that order. So it means that now we know that from here up to here it was our height from of this. So from here up to here we're going to be having 5 centimeters. And then from here up to here we have our radius equaling to 2 centimeters. So we start to get everything, we need first of all the theta. So that now, if I consider this, I'm going to be having my tan theta equaling to the opposite over 5. So always it's going to be x over that. So from there, I start my theta is going to be I'm getting 21.8 degrees, so that's my theta. Now, it means that now, first of all, I need the maximum friction. So to get maximum friction, it means that now, my F max is always equal to mu R. So I need R first because I have mu as 0.5 from the equation. So, if I have that, then let me resolve perpendicular to the plane. Because this body is at rest, it means it's in equilibrium. So, my R is going to be equal to W cos theta. So mean that from here, my R is going to be, we don't know W, but we know the angle. The angle is 21.8 degrees. So my R here is going to be, so this one is giving me 0.9285 W. So this is my R. If I come and I put it here, it's going to be now 0.5 times 0.9285 W. So now my F max is going to be giving me 0.46425. So because now I know how to get this, so I solve along the plane in this order. If I solve along the plane because it's an equilibrium, means that now my F, the force going upwards is going to be equal to the force going downwards, which is that. So here my F is going to be W, then sine of our theta, 21.8, which will give us, it's giving me 0.37 or 14. This is my F. And this is equal to that. So therefore, it's like our F is less than that. And so that's clearly our F is less than, because this is 0.5, this is 0.3. So it's less than our F max. If this was greater than this, if this was less than this, then it means that this will be sliding. But if this is greater than now this, it means that it won't slide, but it will just topple. It implies, clearly F less than me, which means that the cylinder will topple before it slides, as simple as that. So our is done in that order. We are going to another question. Okay, but before to topples, as simple as that, you have to know those conditions, but we saw them in the last lesson. For it to topple, it means that the weight, this from here up to here, it will be active in that order, in that sense there. So that's it. I wish you well.